It is the Staten Island prosecutor who has decided to completely cover up this flagrant, racist murder by the 5 cops, 5, not 1, 5 cops that murdered Eric Garner for no reason whatsoever. There was no charge. There was no possible charge. They couldn't be in the line of duty because they became criminals when they just attacked this man. 5 cops from all sides attacked him, put him on the ground, strangled him and stayed on top of him until he died. They made no effort. First of all, they had no business attacking this man at all. They couldn't arrest him on any legitimate charge. There's no charge. It's that simple. It's a simple fact. So how is it possible that when I tell Sharpton, listen, there was 5 cops, the grand jury can't be considered legitimate. And the judge that overrules or oversees, he's supposed to oversee, the grand jury is part of the scam. Or else he's just an imbecile. Do we have this, is this judge a total imbecile who can't possibly understand that this is a complete murder and that has nothing to do with being in the line of duty? And they had no business bothering this man who was doing nothing wrong. You can't just charge a guy and, oh, he was resisting. You weren't arresting him on a legitimate charge. He was saying, what did I do? I didn't do anything. And then these cops, they just persist. They don't care that he's not doing anything. So how is that possible that every white person on TV, Bo Dietl, Bernard Kerrick, some kind of a criminal, and Janine Perot, and whoever else is talking about it, are just a pack of liars that just don't care, and nobody calls them on it, except me. I'm the only one that actually calls these people total. I mean, it's a flagrant murder case. You can't possibly have a grand jury with there's 5 perpetrators of a murder, but only have one of the 5 as being a potential defendant for the murder. One of the 5, when you know there's 5. So how is it possible that this could have any legitimacy? It can't. But nobody notices this. This is proofing the fog, the total trance that this country is in. The entire country, okay? The blacks are all marching around, laying on the floor in Grand Central Station. What good is that? I mean, and then this triggers and literally lights a fuse to the guy in Baltimore who comes up to New York only because of this cover-up by the prosecutor to protect these 5 murdering cops. So he's gonna get it, even it up a little bit, and he murders these 2 cops that are doing nothing. And that's like, well, how terrible. Well, how did it happen? It's the cops. It's the police union. It's the spokespeople who claim that nothing was wrong with in the Eric Garner case. Just like they did in the Rodney King case. 53 murdered people in this 4-day riot. Right? Because they went, oh no, the 4 cops didn't do anything. Everybody saw them beat this guy's brains in. And then they have this month-long trial and get an acquittal. Okay? a month-long trial on this case that everybody watched 1,000,000 times on TV. Oh, that won't startle anybody if they get acquitted. When they get acquitted, it'll be like, oh, okay, that's the system. The jury heard the evidence, 30 days, a month long, for something you saw in a matter of seconds, actually. It wasn't even minutes, maybe 2 minutes, I don't know, with Rodney King and with this guy, Eric Garner. So, what do you talk about to get people to completely turn upside down and come up with this verdict that protects these cops? I mean, was this magic that you could just talk to these people for 9 straight weeks and they'll just come up with something that you want that's ridiculous on its face? On its face. See, that's the problem here. Nothing matters as far as what we know to be absolutely true. No. We have this hypocrisy that, oh, well, we could have a fair trial and we just don't know, and you know, there's enough to go to trial with, and maybe there's a reason that the jury would actually have a legitimate reason, I mean, just to do the opposite of what everybody knows in fact. In fact, there's no facts. These people that are in this trance, they believe facts are their own. No, they're not their own. That's the problem. Facts are just facts. That's it. Nobody owns a fact. Period. So when they start saying they're my facts, then you know they're just off. They're just out into their trance. Okay? And that's where we're at here. And there's no end in sight. Until, and the black people, they think, well, I don't know what they think, actually. They think that there's no, that there's no end in sight, actually. That's what they tell me. They don't think justice is possible. Well, it's not when you just act ridiculous, okay, and have these protests, marches, laying on the floor for a few hours, go home. Big deal. Why should there be? I mean, it's nonsense, okay? But if you boycott, that's not going to be nonsense, because the stock market will come down from 18,053, where it wound up on Friday, to like 6,000. It'll crash like 2/3, maybe even 3/4. Because if the boycott just stays until these people are convicted and sentenced, that's it. We're not going to bet on anything from you. Liars. You have no credibility. You can't. You better wrap this up fast, baby, because it's going to wind up where there's a gigantic collapse. And you'll be crying like babies. And that's free market capitalism. How's that? And so when the market is on a complete bottom, before you decide, okay, these guys got life with no parole. Goodbye. You don't just get to murder somebody because you're 5 cops. And the whole system is rigged. And then you talk about a system, and you talk about a country of laws. You don't obey any laws. Law enforcement is completely lawless. They're totally corrupt. And then the media is part of it. They're right in the middle of it and claim that, well, the prosecutors work with the cops. What do you expect? Wait a minute. They work with the cops. They don't work with the 5 murderers, okay? That's who the prosecutors are supposed to work with. The legitimate cops. Not with the 5 that murdered this guy Garner. They don't get lumped all in one. Sorry. That's the big hypocrisy that nobody seems to understand but me, okay? I'm trying to explain this. We're never going to, I mean, this is beyond imagination. And this proves the trance. So we have to stomp it. We cannot proceed like this in a complete trance and claim that it's all legitimate under the rule of law and the system. No, the system is totally corrupted. And the rule of law is totally ignored. It's no rule of law. You can make up laws every day. Doesn't matter. You don't follow the law. Until it suits you. Okay? So, that's where we're at here. I mean, if people don't understand, and that they don't understand that everybody needs to snap out of the trance. And this is the perfect issue, the perfect opportunity. Eric Garner did nothing wrong. And he covered up the cops. And then the guy from Baltimore pops into Brooklyn and shoots 2 cops. Of course that's no good. Nobody wants that. Nobody. Then he shoots himself. So, sound like, well, hey, that had nothing to do with it. Well, of course it has everything to do with it. Everything. And that's what he wrote. Okay? The guy that came from Baltimore wrote it down. There's no way to deny that. I mean, you could deny anything. Because white racists deny everything. That's it. And that's the reason we know they're all white racists. And not one of them says, hey, this is out of bounds. I'm totally objecting to this. We have to have law enforcement actually do its job. Okay? That's what we have to have. Immediately. Stop. Boom. Stop this crazy trance. Thank you.